Haboim. Welcome everyone. We're about to begin Be'ezras Hashem together on Daf Gimel Amud Aleph. So with Daf Beis Amud Beis, 7 lines from the bottom. The second line when it begins getting wide. The Gemara has spoken about there's 2 different places we learn from the Miluim that one must be sequestered 7 days before the procedures of that avodah. We learn from the Miluim that the Aaron Ubanov who performed the korbanos on the 8th day of the Miluim had to separate themselves 7 days from their house to be in the oil moed prior to their korbanos, the avodah on the 8th day of the Miluim. From that pasuk, Rabbi Yochanan learns out also we have the Kohen Gadol 7 days before Yom Kippurim has to sequester himself and leave his house to go to the Lishkas Palhedrin. And the one who is performing the avodah of the Sreifas Paraduma also must separate himself 7 days before that procedure. The Gemara now wants to challenge, find maybe indeed we don't learn out from Miluim to Yom HaKippurim, but rather from something else. Says the Gemara, Ve'ema Shmini. Let us suggest that the Shmini Atzeres is indeed those korbanos that one has to separate himself out 7 days before. The Prishi Shiva Liyom Echod, who here it's only 1 day, unlike the other regalim when it comes to Shavuos and Pesach. Those are 7 days. So we said you can't learn out from Miluim, which is just 1 day. So 7 days of separation before 1 day. On there, the Gemara asks, okay, but Shmini Atzeres is also 1 day, and therefore let's learn out from Miluim. Answers the Gemara, Danin davar she'en kedusha lefonov, midavar she'en kedusha lefonov. Vein danin davar she'yesh kedusha lefonov, midavar she'en kedusha lefonov. We learn out that which does not have kedusha before it. That means the 7 days of the Miluim did not have kedusha before the 8th day where they brought korbanos. So from there we learn out to also a situation where there's 7 days before, namely before Yom Kippurim does not have kedusha before it, that we sequester the Kohen Gadol, and we don't learn out from Shmini to Shmini Atzeres, which is 7 days before that is kedusha of Sukkos. Ask the Gemara, V'lav kal v'chomer, is it not a kal v'chomer? Adarabba, there's more of a reason to sequester 7 days before the day of kedusha, when there's 7 days of kedusha that precede it. Says the Gemara, Hashta davar she'en kedusha lefonov boy prisha. If over here by Miluim we have to separate 7 days before, when they don't have kedusha that precede it, then davar she'ish bekedusha lefonov kol kosher kain. Certainly when it comes to then 7 days before the Shmini Atzeres, those 7 days of Sukkot which does have kedusha, certainly we should then require the separation, the sequestering. Omar Rav Sharsha said, Loi, because the pasuk that teaches us by Miluim, it states in that pasuk, which we brought before, Kasher Osa Bayom Hazeh, Tziva Hashem Lasos Lechaper Aleichem, and therefore it says in the pasuk Hazeh Ksiv, like this Kizeh, just like the Miluim does not have kedusha before it, then we have to add something that is exactly similar to that, which is before Yom Kippurim doesn't have kedusha 7 days before. Ravashi has a different explanation why we cannot learn out to Shmini Atzeres. Mi ika midi, the ikar regel loiboy prisha. If in regards to the ikar regel, namely Sukkos, it does not require 7 days of sequestering beforehand, then tafel didei boy prisha, then that which is tafel the Shmini Atzeres to the week-long celebration of Sukkos, that would require then sequestering. The Gemara says, "Va'afilu manda omer Shmini regel b'fnei atzmahu." Even the manda omer says Shmini Atzeres is a separate regel, but says the Gemara, "Hani mili." When is this so that it's considered to be a separate regel? Le'inyan pasar keshev, on top of a good gimel and aleph, in regards to 6 items: pei, zayin, reish, and kuf, shin, beis. Pei, zayin, reish refers to the pious is the pei. That means those who are in the Mishmeres, those who do the avodah during the 7 days of Sukkos, they go through a pious to determine who's going to do the avodah on Shmini Atzeres. Zayin refers to Zman. The bracha of Shehecheyanu is stated in Shmini Atzeres because it's a separate chag in that sense. Reish refers to, it's a regel b'fnei atzmoi, and therefore in the tefillah we mention Chag Shmini Hatzeres. We don't continue to mention Chag HaSukkos. Keshev Kuf refers to the korban is a different korban than it is during the Sukkos. Shin refers to the shir that is sung by the Levim. The shir Shel Yoim is a different shir on Shmini Atzeres. And finally, the Beis refers to, they would mevarech the Melech on Shmini Atzeres. So only in regards to that is it a separate chag. Aval le'inyan tashlumim. But even that Manda Omar agrees by in regards to Tashlumin the Rishon hu. The Tashlumin is going to be Tashlumin of Rishon. The Hotnan, it says in the Mishnah, in regards to bringing the Korban Chagiga, it states, Mishalo Chag b'yoyim toiv harishon shel Chag. One who did not bring the Korban Chagiga, which is required to be brought the first day of the Chag, Choygeg v'hoyle kol haregel kuloi. He's able to then bring the Korban Chagiga through the rest of the regel. The Yontev Achron Shel Chag, and even the Yontev Achron Shel Chag, meaning Shmini Atzeres. So we see that Shmini Atzeres is considered to be an addendum, an attachment to the 7-day-long celebration of Sukkot. So therefore, we cannot suggest then that even according to that Manda Omar, we should learn out from Miluim. Ask the Gemara, okay, the Ve'ema Atzeres, but let's learn out to Shavuos, which is only a 1-day Chag, and that would then be similar to Miluim, which is also just 1 day. The Prishas Shiva Liyom Echad Hu. Just like the 7 days precede, which is a Prisha, a sequestering before the 8th day of the Karbanos that the Kohanim did in the Miluim. So too, there's 7 days of sequestering before the 8th day, before that day of Shavuos. Omer Abba Danin Par Echad Va'al Echad Mi Par Echad Va'al Echad. We learn out Par Echad Va'al Echad, which is by the Miluim, to Par Echad Va'al Echad, which is also by Yom Kippurim. La'apuke Atzeres the Shnei Eilim Ninhu, to exclude Shavuos, which has 2 Eilim. There's a special korban called the Shtei Alechem, which we bring 2 Eilim. So therefore, it's excluding the Shavuos. Gemara says, Hanich lamanda Omer Yom Kippurim ayel echad. That's very well according to the opinion that says Yom Kippurim, the ayel is just 1 ayel. That's the ayel shel tzibur. Elo lamanda Omer shnei elim ninhu. But the Manda Omer who says that on Yom Kippurim there are 2 elim. Ma'ika lemen, what are you going to say? The same way that we said that you can't learn out to Shavuos, you wouldn't be able to learn out the Yom Kippurim. Elamai. The same way that you want to learn out from Yom Kippur, you should be able to learn out to Shavuos. The Tanya, it says over here in the Braisa that we have these 2 different opinions, whether it's Ayel Echad or 2 Eilim in regards to Yom Kippurim. Rebbe says, Ayel Echad hu ha'omur kan. It's saying here in Ayel Echad hu omer b'chumash hapakudim. That's the same Ayel that's referred to in the Pasuk in Bamidbar. So even though it states twice, Ayel Echad, in regards to Yom Kippurim, it's referring to the same Ayel, the Korban Tzibur. Rabbi Elazar bar Rabbi Shimon Oimer, Shnei Elim Heim. The fact that it mentions it twice, which is uncharacteristic, must mean that it's really 2 Elim on Yom Kippurim, not just 1. Echad ha'omur kan, ve'echad ha'omur b'chumash ha'pekudim, 2 different Elim. Says the Gemara, and therefore we're left with the question, why indeed can't we learn out from Miluim to Shavuos? Gemara says, no, afilu teim of Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Shimon, hasam, because over there, chad lechoivas hayoim, the chad lemusofin. There are 2 different elim. One's for the choivas hayoim, and the other one is for the musaf offering. La puke atzeres the travayu choivas hayoim ninu. To exclude Shavuos, both elim are choivas hayoim.